Welcome everybody. Today we are on our third episode where we are taking the same journey of introducing all the instructors and the professionals that I trained. The guy sitting next to me. His name is David Matlala. We will be talking about where he comes from, how did it start. Welcome again, people. This is Ripe. Ripe means Lebabo. This is the CEO of Lebabo Fitness Solutions, and I hope you're going to enjoy this. Tell us, how did fitness start? Your journey, where did it start?
It started in Dobsonville. I was a soccer player. I was a soccer player. So one of my friends introduced me to fitness. Because on that day we didn't have a match. I was like, how about joining me to a fitness marathon, aerobics marathon? They used to call them that. No, aerobathons.
Aerobathons. Yeah.
So aerobathons, when they had fun, the following day I couldn't wake up.
Yeah.
You remember Sfiso?
Yes, Sfiso.
So Sfiso approached me. I was like, you know what? I see now you are into this. How about you start teaching with us? And
Sfiso by then was already with the group, né?
Yeah.
The Kateso.
He joined us when you guys came through, and he showed us what sports aerobics is. Because we remember we did a funny choreography.
Oh yes.
And he said, you know guys, you can't take this to that world. You'd be a laughing stock and then they will break you. And he showed us, you came with kata, glass, and in.
Yes.
So you showed us a routine. And we were like, wow. And we stopped completely. We didn't want to compete anymore. So we went with you guys. So we went to Renee Institute of Fitness Professionals. It's called, what's this now?
Before you get to the institution, tell us more about when you were still training Lebo Klasi and Boimi. How was it like?
You know, we were family because we were guys from Diepkloof, well, Soweto, and Kagiso, somewhere from Tembisa. You could never see that these guys are from different townships. We had fun. You know, we used whatever we had. We never had grease guards. We never had fancy stuff, sprite floors, but the way we were taught, it showed you how black people struggle when it comes to such any sport, whether it be your karate, your soccer,
venues and all that we didn't have.
But we used most of what we had, and we became champions. Out of that, started Group X, qualified. We started teaching. I think that's where we thought, you know what, we made it. So the group split. So we went our different ways, but we meet once in a while, do the aerobic marathon team, and then some of us left. I went overseas, came back. I think I stayed a year without working, just having fun.
Have you done sports also?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
So I think we liked what white people did. So everything was so soft. We had sponges, we had sprung floors. So we liked that fancy life. We forgot where we came from. So I think that's where everything went wrong.
You used to do doubles with
Mangwe.
Yeah. And how was it like?
You know, at first, I think you meet a stranger, it's like a new relationship.
Yeah.
You don't know how to treat your girlfriend, how she must treat you.
Yeah.
So it's like a new relationship. So
you are a man here, and then you have to face now this girl that you need to work with, and
And
there's
now
nothing
she's
in between.
there's nothing in between that, and she's more experienced, and I think, am I going to make it?
How did it make you feel? You know,
It was, at first I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, here I am, I'm supposed to be training with the guys. I'm training with the female now. And there's some routines, I mean, you need to spot, there's some skills that you need to lift her.
Yeah.
That's difficult, because now it becomes difficult.
I can imagine. I can imagine. And here, man's like, come on, you can do this.
You make one mistake. Go to the field, give me 2 minutes. You should be back in 2 minutes.
I don't see many coaches or actually even black people actually participating in sports aerobics. What do you think makes that?
I think it was not well received. People knew nothing about it. If we were to go back and teach our new or current instructors or current coaches, it's a sport, not what
Social aerobics.
Social aerobics, where they call it a sport.
Yeah.
Because it has no guidance, it has no body. Because I don't think they know that.
You mean the social aerobics?
Yeah, social aerobics. Yeah. You still
I
coach.
still coach.
Mm.
But mainly I coach for the institutions. So it's not like I'm making an impact in terms of actually motor skills for kids. Their coordination, their motor skills, they actually get affected because they're just sitting there. It actually even affects them mentally. We see a lot of kids nowadays who have a lot of chronic problems. What does that cause? What causes that? You eventually can point it out that no.
It's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
They sit around too much. They don't get the sun. We don't have much problems with our skins and everything, but you find that we now have a youth that has diabetes type 2. I think our biggest job here, looking at sports aerobics, why I'm asking you that, because I'll look at our youth and I think we need to challenge it and say, look guys, I've trained you, and when I used to train, we used to train in the sun. I used to make a run for a minute in the field where the sun is here, but your body could actually take that.
We adjusted.
Your body could adjust to that. So now you ask yourself, what is causing this nowadays generation not to even want to stay in the sun, to say put a sunblock or whatever, when we never used to do that. We never used to have any sunburn because our body was immune to that environment. I want us to dedicate at least even an hour, 30 minutes for townships where we would start training people. Like I used to drive, actually before even I drove, I used to take a taxi from Tembisa to Kagiso, and I would meet you guys I would take guys from Tembisa and Soweto to Kagiso, by the way, remember? Train you there, when I finish, go back, Sunday come back again and train you. Or even sleep by pub challenge. Do you still remember? Yeah. So I want you to maybe look at what you can do in Soweto, what we can do in Tembisa, what we can do around Ekurhuleni. We'll also look at the other guys that we used to train with, and then maybe try to involve them. Just before you left, how did it come about that you had to go overseas and still practice fitness?
Yeah, still practicing.
Just give us a story there. What happened?
How it came about, a friend of mine, Gahis, one of
the guys that we've trained with. Used to,
yeah. So he's like, you know what? I don't know. For me, it was like teaching. I love teaching. You know how much I love teaching. He's like, you know what? He really convinced us, like, come on, bro, you're wasting your time here. You won't make money. Let's go overseas. Because he was there, he was based there. Yeah. Already when he came back, you could see, okay, he's making it. And I was like, you know, I'm one of those. I analyze things. Am I going to make it? Is it for me? I'm like, you know what, let me just go and have fun and see what's out there. And I've learned a lot. When I got there, you meet different instructors from different countries, from Germany, Russia. You preach one language. We couldn't communicate. Some can't even construct a sentence in English, but you could communicate.
Comparing fitness that side, in particular fitness professionals and this side, what do you think? Are we far? Are we close? What do we need to do?
You are into it like a professional, because I mean you went to school, you studied for this. Here it's a totally different world. Overseas they treat you like a professional. They regard you as a professional because you study for that. Here, I mean, if you go for an in-house course, you have been picked from the floor, you become an instructor. It's a quick 3-week course. You are an instructor, you've never done your anatomy, your biomechanics.
So there's a difference between that side and this side. And mostly that side, anyone who does the same in the same industry, they are obviously qualified.
Very much so.
Now, we get to a stage now where you are coming back. When you come back, I know if you've been out and then you've seen so much, you come back and then what? How now do you adjust to how things are and from where you come from?
Wait, workouts that we did that side that I've learned. So you wanted to bring them here, but now with our culture, because now we like box, we like step, we like your high low. Other disciplines, it's not us, but yet we still practice the same, because I wanted to bring that. But now, who do you work with? Who do you approach? So it becomes, you've learned that, it's here, it's gone.
Yeah. What? Now you are back, you are working corporate. You worked with, which company by the way? Was it Discovery?
I worked for sports science,
Yeah.
so we ran their gym on their behalf.
Okay.
So it's more of a, tender type of thing. And how I got there, it was a referral. Got there, okay, there was a guy they liked, so I started teaching. Before I even started working for sports science, I started teaching for them. And then approached me to work for the company. Started working for the company, started working, and then I think I need to have something to fall back on. Started PT, started personal training.
So now personal training became more like security, something that you can use just to escape the thing. Already do 10 classes a day, then you end up burned out and all that, and then tomorrow if you break your leg, nothing happens to you, nobody will pay for your bills and everything.
Because that's how we work.
Yeah.
It's more like pay as you go.
Yeah.
If I break now for 3 months, I'm out for 3 months. And they like your replacement. So then you can't kick him out because now you still need to recover.
As you're talking about that, I'm just curious. Replacements. Because some instructors that have been long in the field, or the ones that feel, now I have got a crowd, and these followers, they believe in me. If I leave, they will also leave. What is your take on that?
No one owns anyone. If you work at the gym, if I make a mistake and the company fires me, they'll say, you know what, David was great. 3 weeks you got, they forgot about you. David was great. He used to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think the other thing is,
so no one can start thinking that they are not irreplaceable. They can be replaced.
They forget about you.
Yeah.
Members are just like that. They'll fight for you for 3 weeks, they forgot about you. They move on.
Now coming now to present days, where now David is, I know you say you're going to be, you just started with Virgin Active?
Yes, as a PT.
As a PT, what is it like? Where are you going? If people want to see this man in action, where can they find you?
I'm based in Victory Park.
Yeah.
Right now I'm based in Victory. I don't teach like I used to teach, where I used to go to different labs. It's a new challenge for me, remember, because I'm from the corporate world.
Dave, when you were still young, you never had Mokaba and you were never fed, and eventually got fed. And I know that there is a point where when it comes to you trying to burn that weight, I mean, let's be honest, and then you just feel it's going nowhere.
The ideas, yeah. The ideas, the way you feel it.
But you get a member here. He comes to you. He says, Dave, I've tried everything. You mean, if he says to you, I've tried everything, back to you, they have tried everything. I've been through 4, 5 trainers. Eat right. He even gives you the whole story in terms of how you used to eat, the exercises and everything.
Programs that they were given.
Exactly. So what do you think is missing? Because still, they don't lose weight.
I remember we had a chat about it. Not so long ago we were chatting.
But how as a trainer, how do you go about making sure that at least these people can try to get their goal or reach their goals? Because I mean, we are assumed to be professionals and have a knowledge in terms of making sure we can deal with that. So how do you deal with it with your clients?
I've never really touched it on much. It's a challenge. It's a nice challenge. Thanks for giving me a homework. I need to go back to the drawing board.
I always say, let's look at life holistically. Who are we? How were we designed? If sure the Creator designed us to develop, we need to know laws of nature. And when we look at laws of nature, we understand that we need to first understand what is well-being. Because what we are trying to do is to make sure that we give balance, homeostasis, to this body. And what does really affect this body? It's 4 components. It's a social component, it's a spiritual component, it was a psychological component, and your physical component. But what I've realized is that as trainers, we mostly focus on the physical and forget that for a person to be well, needs to balance all 4. Because when you started your course, remember, it starts with all these 4 components. And it bugged me because, every time when I give lectures, I would give lectures, but I never understood. Why do you always have to teach these components? What are they for? Because, we're doing everything physical. Until I found how they connect. Then I realized, we've been doing all this wrong. Because even the people that you think they know this professionally and they are teaching this all the time, they don't understand it. Because we're teaching people something that when we're supposed to be telling them the other thing. Now, I looked at it and I said, look, if these 4 components are like this and they need balance, balance is homeostasis. So let me look at how do my body get affected. because I'm more for functional, which is physical, ne? Physical movement. Everything has to be physical. How does psychological affect me? Then I started seeing, emotions. Where does emotion come from? So one took me to the next, and I was like, keep on searching. And then I was like, okay, if emotions are controlled by hormones, especially when you look at the dopamine and the serotonin, what affects serotonin and dopamine? If I have to get all these happy hormones right, I need to do what? Exercise. And besides exercising, what else besides exercising to get my dopamine and serotonin right?
You need to socialize.
I need to socialize because I need to be happy. Now you see? Okay, all right. It's like now I'm getting there. Oh, okay. Now, what else? How do I end up with now blood pressure? Food. Okay, if I eat the wrong food. So what is the wrong food? Because if I ate too much of, it's not that the food is wrong. It's all about timing. What to eat when and how. So therefore I won't say it's diet. It's eating right. Yeah, I'm totally against this thing. Yeah, diet. No. It's not diet. It's eating right. It's understanding also from which sources that you need to be eating from. Because we've been lied to and said, no, you mustn't eat fatty foods. You must always go for grains and everything. And if you look at it, no, it's the other way. Because if you look at mostly food that has grains, are the ones that are going to spike insulin. And when we talk about insulin, what I'm talking about, we're talking about now a hormone that regulates sugar. Now we're talking glucose. Now, if you go complex carbohydrates, anything that you take and you put it on your mouth, before it can even go down to digest, already your body, insulin has spiked. Okay, now when I looked at fats, I was like, but no, man, you can't say that. It was, which are the good source of fat? Saturated fats are good. And they said, no, they're not good. You know what I've not? I've ignored what I've learned in school and what I was teaching. What are the first steps that you take when you get a new client?
You need to assess them.
Okay. So just take us through a assessment process.
Because now you need to know their history. It's the SPACUs. You've got all these questionnaires that they need to go
Good.
through.
Thank you. Just stop it there. Can we rephrase it and say, because I don't call that part assessment. It's not assessment. It's screening.
Okay.
Because you are still talking to them, trying to find out about their past life, how they live. Because when you start now doing the assessment, that's when you actually are now looking for the result. And you want to know the status of their being. So that it's easy for you now to have a reference to say, okay, here's screening, here are the results. Because screening gives you what is the cause of this result.
They don't get it. They're not getting it.
Whereas most, okay, before I even lead you on that one, now you've got screening. What do you do with the screening? What it is done for?
That's where you need to. That's where you build a program for them, because now you've got.
So this program is built based on the screening or on the assessment. Because I wanted to divide the two so that we can see. Because the assessment, that's when you're starting with your BMI, your fat percentage, your postural alignment, where you're testing the fitness and everything. That's for me, that's an assessment. But this part, it's screening. Now, when you answer me, I want you to answer me based on, is it screening, what you're saying, or is it based on the assessment itself?
It's based on screening.
Screening, okay. So you draw the program based on the screening. Okay. Why?
Because now I can't make you do high intensity else I know you're hypertensive. What?
Exactly. Exactly. But how many mistakes trainers do when they do their assessment, because they base only the assessment on, their program on the assessment, but not on the screening.
Because I think we want to show off. We want to have quick results, whilst it will kill you at the end. Because now, like we say, because you've never done screening, you just went through with it, your client collapses because you've never done screening. Now it's your baby, it's your problem now. Because if
Because
never
the PAQ was never done.
it was never done.
You don't know their history, and so on and so on.
Because now you're excited, you just got a new
Exactly.
client, you just signed a new client, you're excited, I'm making money, my clientele is going up. So now you become, what's this, a popular PT.
But at the end, do you but really get results?
You don't.
You don't. The question also was posed, but if I want to make or sell a product, what is important in me selling that product, but I'm not using it? Is it okay?
It's not okay because now you're selling a lie because you're not using it.
That means you're not believing in the product.
Yeah, because you've never used it. I mean, I cannot make you do a baby whereas you've never done a baby before. You don't know what are you touching, because you've never done a baby, because you've seen it on YouTube. Okay, this
Even in modifying the exercise for certain type of people, because of you've never done it, you've never gone through it, you won't understand anything about it.
Because now you're selling a lie.
Exactly. No, Dave, I think this is enough, and we'll obviously touch base, because today it was just about you, where you come from, and just to understand, Ndona yaka, student saka, siswaka, even if you have a white beard now, but yeah, I'm actually impressed that you have reached this level, and hope we will work together towards helping the society and the community, especially youth, because now my heart is still on how we can change this whole thing, and the only way we can change it is if we start it down there.
The grassroots
Yeah.
level.
I think if we can change the majority of youth, then the next generation will definitely be a better generation.
Yeah, it is.
So in less than 30 seconds, if you wrap up everything, what can you tell us?
I think we need to bring back workshops.
Okay.
We need to bring back, what's this, conventions.
Okay.
People need to be like say workshop conventions. We need to move on. We need to move on with the times.
Okay.
The world is going this way. We are going this way.
And we are still stagnant.
We're still stagnant. We need to evolve. We need to evolve.
No, I get to my brother. And I hope me and you, and the others that I already spoke to, I think we're on the same path. So I can see it happening.
I think
Viewers, this was nice. I hope we'll have David again in the next episode, because I still need to drill him on other questions in terms of fitness. But obviously, we'll let you know when that is going to happen. And Mr. Matlala, Ralebo,
I'll level it.
thank you.